Hello and welcome back to another episode of All Things Girl World. In today's video, we're getting into our music bag and discussing one of my favorite girl groups of the 90s and early 2000s, Blaque. It's time to give my girls their flowers. Blaque is an American R&B and pop girl group consisting of members Shamari, Brandi Williams, and Natina Reed. We were first introduced to Blaque in the spring of 1999 with the release of their Trackmasters produced debut single and a song that I still listen to today, 808. Blaque was founded by Ronald Lopez, the brother of beautiful, legendary, and talented musician Lisa Left Eye Lopes of TLC, and named after his management company at the time, Blaque House. During an episode of TV1's Unsung, Ronald told the story of how he met Natina and how much she reminded him of his sister once he heard her rapping ability.
He did a rap that she wrote, and immediately it reminded me of my sister Lisa.
Named after Ronald's management company, in 1996, Blaque was formed. And to help get things moving, Ron turned to his sister, Lisa.
Ronald enlisted the help of Left Eye, who lended her mentorship to the girls. Together, she and Ronald started managing Blaque. Left Eye also set up an audition with then Sony Music chairman and CEO Tommy Mottola. From there, Blaque signed a deal with Columbia Records, who called on the legendary hip-hop duo Trackmasters to executive produce Blaque's debut album, and from there, 3 stars were born.
And for the debut single, they headed to Chicago to work with another popular producer, R. Kelly, for a song called 808.
She's got a 9 to 5, but coming in after 12.
I fell in love with Blaque when I first saw the video for 808. It was fresh, innovative, and fit right in with the direction of the futuristic music videos of the late 90s and early 2000s. Also, seeing Left Eye's cameo in the video was a stamp of approval that Blaque was up next, and with a cosign like that, the success was almost guaranteed. As expected, the song would go on to be a huge success for the ladies and peak at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 4 on the Billboard Hot R&B and Hip Hop Songs charts. With 808, I feel like I've experienced what I like to call a song resurgence, meaning there's a song that you love or heard growing up, but you haven't listened to it in a while. But when you finally hear it again, it's like hearing it for the first time all over again. Now you're playing it every other day, and it's almost like you've gained this newfound appreciation for it. Riding on the success of their debut single, Blaque scored an opportunity to open up for NSYNC on the second half of their world tour. Their managers at the time, Johnny Wright and Doug Brown, also managed NSYNC as well as other major pop talents like Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys. This was great crossover exposure for Blaque as it would place them in front of a new domain of pop music fans. The release of Blaque's second single showcased a more playful, pop-infused sound that would also work out well for the ladies as their careers continued to progress. I Do is the group's follow-up single and written by Blaque's very own Natina Reed.
It's our second single written by no other than Natina Reed.
I do, give him the love that he wants, not do.
I Do was very fun and catchy. Not only did I love how the song went back and forth between that R&B and pop melody, but the video was fascinating. It was bright, full of color, and energetic. It featured a lot of dance choreography, and this time, not only a cameo, but a rap verse by both Natina and Blaque's mentor and creative director, Left Eye. Having both ladies on I Do made it really easy to hear the similarities between their styles of rapping. I also enjoyed their martial arts theme segment of the video with Left Eye portraying Natina's sensei. I thought that was very creative and fitting. And can we please take a moment to acknowledge how beautiful each of these ladies are? I mean, every single one of them had a premium face card. The mainstream representation that we had on television as Black girls during that time is something I will always appreciate. If you think the momentum slowed down for Blaque after their second single, you are sadly mistaken because the third single would ascend the trio to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and help push their album to certified platinum status. Bring It All to Me was the third single released from Blaque's debut album. In 2017, Billboard placed this song at number 54 on their list of the 100 greatest girl group songs of all time. They described the song as a silky R&B sing-along and referenced the remix which features NSYNC's JC Chasez. The music video for Bring It All to Me was directed by Billy Woodruff and stayed true to Blaque's colorful and futuristic style. In a June 2020 interview published by RatedRB.com, Billy gave us insight on what his creative thought process was for the concept of the music video. He said, "It was Left Eye's group. Left Eye and I were very close. TLC is very close to me. I listened to the song and I was like, I want to do this kind of futuristic thing. It was just where my head was at creatively. They are these alien super sexy girls that have superpowers. They come down onto the streets of LA and these guys find a box that they have there and they're transported into this space world where they interact with these beautiful women. It was me trying to find an abstract way to build upon the lyrics of the song, but have it take you somewhere unexpected that still relates to the meaning of the song. It's kind of like an aspirational fantasy set in the futuristic world that once again allows you to see the girls and see how great they look and see them dance, see their personality, but make them stand out." Now with the platinum album, by the 2000s, Blaque was unstoppable, and you can go ahead and add the big screen to their resume as well. Blaque starred alongside Gabrielle Union as members of the East Compton Clovers cheerleading squad in the 2000 teen movie Bring It On. The film grossed over $17 million during its opening weekend in the US and Canada and went on to gross more than $90 million worldwide.
I thought the movie was super corny. I had no idea that it would be a smash #1 movie in America.
To go with their big box office hit, Blaque recorded a song for the movie's soundtrack titled As If. It's one of those pop, upbeat, and feel-good tracks, and the video was just as entertaining.
I loved shooting that video. I love the scene with Natina and the guy. Like everything she did got him into an accident or like he broke his leg in his eye. I thought it was so cute.
Unfortunately, in the midst of recording their second studio album, not only did Blaque start to experience personal and creative differences, but the group was dropped from Columbia Records after an unfriendly encounter between Natina and Tommy Mottola following her decision to fire their manager, Johnny Wright.
Tina, she goes to Tommy Mottola and says, "You got to deal with me now." And Tommy Mottola didn't like that, so we got dropped. The label dropped us.
Left Eye ensured the group that they still had her support and together they would figure out their next move. Sadly, they would never be able to set their next move in motion alongside their mentor after Left Eye tragically passed away in 2002 following a car accident in Honduras. With a new outlook on life and a sisterhood to nurture, Blaque leaned on one another for emotional support during this difficult time. Natina vowed to fulfill Left Eye's promise and set her sights on finding Blaque a new label home. She was able to find that home at Elektra Records after flying out to New York to meet with then chairwoman and CEO of Elektra Entertainment Group, Sylvia Rohn. Under Elektra, Blaque found themselves back in the studio working with legendary writer and producer Rodney Jerkins for their next single titled I'm Good. This time around, instead of their signature futuristic look, they opted for a more mature look that would separate them from their teen girl image. I'm Good would go on to be featured on the soundtrack for the 2003 dance film Honey. Unfortunately, the good times didn't last long as Blaque would soon experience more creative differences with Natina exiting the group. Brandi and Shamari continued on without her, even replacing Natina for a short amount of time, but ultimately, without the original formula, things just didn't work out. Blaque was dropped from Elektra in 2003 and ultimately went their separate ways. However, in 2012, a tribute festival for Left Eye would bring the ladies back together once more, where they were able to grace the stage with the performance of their debut single, 808. Brandi, Natina, and Shamari were able to resolve their differences before Natina Reed's tragic passing just days later.
It's like so much she had to say to me. Just like she was apologizing for everything. But it was great. And it was like having my sister back.
Rather than focusing so much on the passings of Lisa Left Eye Lopes and Natina Reed, I wanted to instead highlight Blaque's contribution to R&B and pop music of the late 90s and early 2000s. Although I wish their career as a group would have lasted longer, in such a short amount of time they were able to make an impact on my childhood by providing me with music that made me feel good and being part of the representation that we needed to see as young Black girls. Blaque's legacy is cemented in the culture, and I'm glad I was around to witness the story being written. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you all in the next video.